Hey everyone, welcome back to class and thank you so much for joining today. My name is Kathleen and today's class is going to be a Theraband class. And we're going to use a long Theraband, so I'll show you mine here. And it's the blue version. It's fairly long, you can see. I like it this way so that it gives me extra room and length to play around with as I adjust the tension depending on the move that we're doing. And I will say for this class, having the Theraband will be pretty important as there isn't really a good alternative prop to use. Normally I'll let you know if there's something you can use in lieu of the prop that we're using for class, but for this one, it's a little hard to find a replacement. We'll be doing a lot of moves that are very similar to moves that you can do on a reformer, a Pilates reformer, if you've ever taken a class or have ever been on the machine. The Theraband is a great way to mimic some of the moves that you would do with the straps, particularly for our arms and our legs. All right, let's get started. You can bring the Theraband off to the side for now. We won't use it just yet. We're gonna come to stand, bringing our feet slightly wider than hips width distance apart. We're just gonna take a few breaths here. So you're gonna soften through your knees and inhale, sweep the arms overhead, taking your gaze up. Feeling really expansive through your chest and allowing yourself to expand like a balloon through your rib cage, filling up every corner of space. And exhale, start to fold over, softening over your legs, allowing your upper body to be super heavy here. And maybe even shift your weight towards the ball mounds of your feet, allowing your head to drop even closer to the mat, letting go of your neck and your jaw, maybe the space between your eyebrows. 2 more breaths like that. Inhaling through your nose, rolling your spine back up, maybe closing through your eyes. Expand. Exhale, slowly deflate, draping yourself over your legs. And then 1 more like that. Inhaling through your nose. And exhale out your mouth. Roll over your legs. Hang out here, hang heavy, really hinging through your hips, allowing the upper body to be heavy. And then slowly roll yourself up to stand. Okay, we're gonna come down onto the mat now and we're gonna get into a little bit of a warm up and some more stretching before we get started. Okay, so to start, we're gonna find a tabletop, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We're gonna do a lot with our shoulders today, so I wanna just get them nice and warmed up. So you're gonna start to reach your right arm up towards the sky. Allow your gaze to follow that arm, and we're just gonna take big arm circles here, so sweeping that arm in these big, expansive circular movements just to get that shoulder going, get the juices flowing. All right, start to go the opposite direction, up and over, up and over. 2 more. 1 more. This doesn't have to be pretty or precise at all. We're just trying to get the joints moving, and then you're gonna reach that arm back up to the sky 1 more time, and we're gonna thread the needle, reaching your right fingertips over towards the left, dropping your right ear to the mat, and then reaching the left fingertips forward. I like to tent my fingertips here, and then let your hips reach up towards the sky. And then you wanna try to sink that left armpit closer to the mat. All right, go ahead and plant the left palm down, reach that right arm high, unwind yourself, and then plant it down. Left side here, you're gonna reach that left arm high, and then you're gonna draw those big circles. Back, down, forward. 2 more like this, and then we're going the opposite direction, lifting up and around. 2 more. Nice big giant circles here. And release, and then peel that arm back up to the sky and thread the needle, reaching left fingertips to the right, dropping left ear down, reaching right fingertips forward, and dropping that right armpit down towards the mat, twisting through your core, but keeping the hips square here. Breathing here, getting a nice side body stretch, and then go ahead and bring the right palm back in. Unwind the left arm, reach high, and replace your hand down. Okay, so now we're all nice and stretched out. Actually, let's do a few rounds of cow and cat as well, since we're here already. So opening up through the spine, drop your belly, take your gaze up, drop shoulders from ears, lift tailbone high, and then exhale, round through your spine, find your cat. Chin to chest, tucking tailbone, hollowing up through belly. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And just warming up through the spine here, big exaggerated movements. And cat. One more, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And returning to neutral spine here. All right, now we're gonna get warmed up. So you're gonna tuck your toes under and you're gonna lift the knees away from the mat. And we're just going to find ourselves in an extended bear. So we're gonna reach our right palm forward, left palm forward. So now they're forward of the shoulders. We're out of alignment, right foot back, left foot back. So we're in this sort of extended, we're somewhere between a plank and a bear. And then you're gonna reach your right palm back, left palm back, right leg in, left leg in, back to your bear. And then repeat, left side first, left and right, left and right, left comes in, and in, and then we repeat, just alternating the side that leads here. We're getting our core nice and warm. We're also warming up just through the whole body. Plank is such an effective way to get the whole body kind of, to light up through the whole body and to really find that deep core engagement. And so that's why I love doing stuff in like bear or plank so much to start. Okay, we'll do one more round on each side. And in. Here's our last round, each side. On the right, keeping the hips as level as we can here. Last one, left, in. Set the knees down, and let's take a quick child's pose, sitting hips back towards your heels, reaching those arms forward and dropping forehead heavy to the mat, and trying to sink the hips closer towards your heels. And then we're slowly gonna come back up to a seat. Okay, all right, we're gonna get into the band work now, and we're gonna start with some arms. You're gonna take your band and make sure it's about folded in half, so it doesn't have to be perfect. One trick, I've been meaning to do this, you can mark the center of your band with like a Sharpie, and that way you know where center always is, and that might just be a quick way to find center on your band so you don't always have to fold it in half. All right, I'm gonna do that next time. So to set up, we're gonna come with our feet onto our band, and so I want you to find the band roughly folded in half, and then once you do, I want you to place your either foot on either side of center. Doesn't have to be perfect, just somewhere close to center so you have about equal length on either side to work with. And before we even get started with all these band movements, you can easily adjust the tension on the band. So usually if you allow for more slack on the band, it's gonna be less tension and less weight. The higher up you pull on the band, the more weight, more tension you're going to feel. And so totally up to you. You can adjust as you go and as you get familiar with the moves. For this one, I like to have the band so that there isn't a whole lot of tension on the band to start. So when my elbows are in like this, there's just a tiny bit of tension, not a whole lot. And then I like to wrap the band around my hand just for extra security so it doesn't fall off my hand. All right, we're gonna start with our elbows facing in, palms facing up. So we're squeezing the elbows in by the waist. Our palms are facing up, elbows bent at 90 here. I want you to find a nice open collarbone, and I want you to be thinking about engaging through your core. So again, thinking about wrapping the rib cage in towards the midline of your body, feeling your core engage here. And there's just a slight tuck of the tailbone. From here, you're gonna reach the arms forward to about shoulder height, soft bend in those elbows so we're not locking out through the joints. And then you're gonna reach the elbows back into that starting position. So we reach out and in. We exhale as we reach. Inhale as the elbows return back to that starting position. So we're just gonna reach out and back in. And where you're gonna feel this is in the biceps. And our core is also secretly working here to stabilize, to not let us get pulled forward as we reach our arms out. It's holding us steady in place. Let's do 5. And again, if this feels too easy or too hard, you know what to do. You just adjust the band. If you want more, you're going to choke up on the band. You want less, you're going to release and allow more slack. 2 more. And 1 more, long spine here. And release. And this time you're going to lengthen through your arms. And I'm going to choke up on the band just a little bit for a little more tension in this move. Just a tiny bit. For this one, we're going to take arm sweep. So we're taking the bend out completely. It's a very similar move, but we're starting with our arms long by our side, palms facing forward. You're going to sweep those palms up, reaching long through those fingertips at about shoulder height again, and not locking out through the elbows. So we reach and lower. We're going to sweep up, reaching, and lower down. Reach and lower. Let's do 5 more here, and then we're going to find a hold. Here's 4. Exhaling as you reach out. Inhale as you lower. 2. 1 more, and hold on this one. Hold those arms up. We're going to take little circles. So that movement's coming from the shoulders for 3. 2, trying to maintain that height. 1, tension in the band the whole time. Switch directions for 4. 3, 2, 1 more, and slow release, controlling the band down. All right, so biceps should be feeling nice and warmed up now. Okay, we're now gonna come to stand, and we're gonna get into our glutes. So with the band, I want you to tie it around your thighs above your knees. So it's gonna be somewhere above your knees, closer to your knees though than to your hips. And for the band, for this kind of band, what I like to do to tie it so it doesn't become impossibly hard to untie when you're done is I like to tie it like I'm tying a bow. So first you want to tie, or like shoelaces. So you just want to tie a knot to start. And I like this one a bit tighter because we're going to get into our glutes. So I want this to be a little bit heavier, but totally up to you. And this might just take a minute to figure out. And then you're just going to, I always do bunny ears, but you know, like you can do however you tie shoes. Everyone has their own method. And I know it seems like kind of odd, but it's gonna actually be a lot easier to untie this thing if you do it like this rather than tying a bunch of knots. Trust me. Okay, so once you have that band on, make sure it's around your thighs. You're gonna come to one side of your mat. Doesn't matter which side, because we're gonna walk all across our mat, both directions. All right, starting with your feet wider than hips with distance apart so that there's tension on the band already, just to start. Bringing your hands on your hips or hands to heart center, whatever's more comfortable for you. You're gonna take a giant step out towards the other side of the mat, and then in. Giant step out, little step in. Giant step out, little step in, and then you're gonna go to the other side of your mat. Giant step out, little step in. Continuing on like this. Finding a long spine, keeping your gaze directly in front of you, and thinking about, again, wrapping that rib cage in towards your midline, keeping the core nice and engaged, letting it support us here in this movement. And we're staying low the whole time. We're staying deeply bent in those knees, working the outer glutes here. Out, together, out, together, out, together. Keep on going here. See if you can sit even lower or step even wider. If you step off the edge of your mat, great. For me, this is a good amount of width for me to work with. But if you've got really long legs and you're stepping off the edge of your mat, totally fine. All right, let's do 4 more rounds here. So this is 4. Here's 3. And 2. And 1 more. Make your way across the mat. And then you're going to come to the center of your mat. So waddle over to the center of your mat. And then find a deep bend in those knees. You want tension on that band. You're going to shift your weight into that left leg. Popping the right toes so that they're nice and light. You should be able to lift them. You're just going to step that foot out and in for 8. Sitting the hips back, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, loading up that left leg, left glute, 2, 1 more. Come back to center, switch it out, shifting weight into right leg, light in the left toes, loading up the right glute and right quad. We have 8, 7, gazes long in front of you, 5, 4, 3, 2, find 1 more, hold center, little pulses down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand all the way up. Woo. And we're done. You can untie the band now. So you should be able to just pull one side of the band and then it should pretty easily untie itself. So hopefully you experienced that and you didn't do the thing where you nodded a bunch of times, which I've definitely done. I do not advise. Okay, so untie that band. We're coming back down. We're gonna get into a little more arms. Again, finding the band's rough center, doesn't have to be perfect here. You're gonna set your left foot onto the band and you're going to grab both sides of the band with your right hand. And for this move, I should have set it up earlier. We're gonna be standing on our knees. And so if you have sensitive knees, I'd advise you to roll up your mat a few times just to create a little extra padding for yourself. All right, so knees, you're on your right knee. You're gonna extend your left leg out long. Band is under the left foot. And then you're just gonna drop one side of the band. I'm gonna drop the top half of the band, let it go, you don't need it. You just need one side of that band, make sure it's nice and secure underneath your foot. And then go ahead and grab onto that band. And to start, there's a little bit of tension already. So for me, I'm not letting it be super loose like this. There's just a bit of tension, not a ton. And again, you can play around with this when we get into the move. If it's too heavy, loosen it. If it's too light, tighten up on the band. All right, to start, you're gonna hold the band. Actually, let's wrap it around our hand. And I like to wrap it around the back of my hand first, and then the front. For me, it's just more comfortable. And then you're gonna hold on to where the bands cross with your fingertips. So you're gonna start with your arm out in front of you, your forearm running across your hips, and then your arm is bent at about 90 degrees. So it's kind of this sort of very proper feeling position. What you're gonna do is you're gonna do a draw a sword type of movement. So if you've done a reformer Pilates class, you may have done this move before. So what you're gonna do is you're going to pull up on the band, reaching up to about eyebrow height, and you can allow your gaze to follow, trying to keep that wrist nice and straight. So we're not bending the wrist back or allowing it to curl. We wanna keep a nice, strong, supported wrist here. And then return back. And then again, play around with band tension. This one is pretty intense on the shoulders. So we wanna keep this out of the traps and in the shoulders. If you find that the band is too heavy, the weight of the band is too heavy, and you're getting into your traps, release a little bit of tension on that band and reach. So coming back to that starting position, and then exhale, reaching that arm out long. Soft bend in the elbows, but we're coming roughly almost straight with that arm. Okay, let's do 8. And 7. Here's 6. And 5. 4. 3. Ooh, and right about now, I'm really feeling it. And 2. Staying upright with that spine. Okay, find one more. Really find that full length and slowly release. Woo. Pause for a minute. All right, we have another move. And for this one, Same with the band, same arm, and I'm just gonna let go of the band and just allow it to stick to the back of my hand. So I'm not grasping onto the band anymore, like creating a little fist with my hand. I'm just allowing the band to rest on the back of my palm. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna start with our arm at shoulder height, fingertips aligned with that right shoulder. And we're gonna open the door and close the door, keeping that wrist nice and straight, so not allowing our wrist to do weird things like this, really paying attention to that wrist, and close the door. We have 5 more. We're gonna exhale as we open, inhale as we close, and 3. Super intense in the shoulders. 2, really doesn't look like we're doing much, but I know you guys are feeling it. And 1 more, and close, and set the arm down with control. Take a little breather. Okay, we're gonna get into our triceps now. And for this one, I like to take the top side of the band. So I had the bottom one, I'm gonna drop it and trade it for the top side. We're gonna work our left tricep since we're already set up for it. And we're gonna take a modified side plank. So our legs are gonna stay the same. You're gonna come down onto your right palm. If this is kind of uncomfortable for you, and you feel a lot of pinching or crunching in your right side, you can also place a block or a tall book, something flat and stable, just to elevate the surface of the ground. You can also come onto your fist if that's more comfortable for your wrist, and it also adds a little bit of height for you too. I'm just gonna come on to my palm, but you find what works for you. Go ahead and grab whatever props help you here. You're gonna come with your left elbow bent at 90, and you want it so that your fingertips are coming kind of like in line with the top of your head. All right, from here, tension on the band. I like this one to be a little bit heavier. You're gonna reach up with that arm and then bend. Inhale and exhale for 10, and 9, 8, 7, 6, you have 5. We're gonna hold it and pulse. In 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. Hold it bent, little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly release, coming up to stand. Oof, okay. 1 more move on this side, and then we're gonna switch to the other side. Grab that band, and now it's gonna come under your right knee. All right, so you're gonna place the band roughly at center. You're gonna step onto it with the right knee. You're gonna step your left leg forward. So we're kind of in this sort of kneeling position. I feel like a knight or something about to be knighted. Maybe that's just me. All right, 90-degree bend in both knees here. And then you just need one side of the band. So I'm gonna release the left side, grab for the right side, and I'm gonna again wrap the band around the back of my hand so I can grab onto the band comfortably. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with both arms out in front of us, reaching directly in front of our shoulders at shoulder height. And you can already feel the tension of the band. So there should be tension in that band already. And feel how here, just holding this, you actually feel this in your core. So you're using that right oblique to stabilize, to avoid tipping backwards like this. You're using that right oblique to hold you in place. I love how core really just sneaks up on us. It's part of everything we do. All right, gonna get off my soapbox now. We're going to reach that right elbow back. It's like bow and arrow. And you're gonna allow your gaze to come with the elbow. You wanna keep your hips squared forward. So we're not allowing ourselves to open up like this with the arm. We're just twisting from the torso. So from our core, twisting back, reaching that elbow back at shoulder height, and then we're gonna reach it forward. You're gonna inhale, drawing the elbow back into space, allowing your gaze to follow. You're gonna exhale, reaching back forward. Inhale, and exhale. 8 more. Let this be nice and slow, nice and controlled. Let's do 6 more. We have 5. Ooh, finding your balance. And 4. And as we reach that elbow back, we're using the left oblique to keep us in place. So I really love how this one works into the obliques. I think we have about 2 more left. Let's do 2. You're gonna feel this in the top of that right shoulder. So this whole sequence, we've been working pretty deep into that right shoulder, and drop the arms down and take a little shoulder roll. Okay, we're gonna get straight to the other side now. So go ahead and curl up your mat on the other side if you want that support for your knee. And we'll set it up. So this time, again, folding the band in half, finding that almost center, and you're gonna wrap it around the sole of your right foot this time. You're gonna grab both sides of the band in your left hand, and then just extend the right leg out. And then from here, you can drop the top side of the band down. Just grab for one side of the band and then wrap it around the back of your hand first, and then the front, and then go ahead and grab onto where the bands cross. Bring your hand onto your right hand onto your hip. And again, a little bit of tension on that band to start. But if that's a little too much for you and you know that's going to be, go ahead and loosen it up on the band right away. Okay, so our arm's gonna start at that sort of like butler position, holding onto that band, 90-degree bend in our elbow, shoulders away from the ears, and then we're just gonna reach, drawing a sword, reaching that sword up to about eyebrow height, and then coming back to that starting position, returning here. We reach, and slow control release. So we're not allowing the band to just snap back in. We're resisting out and resisting in. All right, exhale as you reach. You can allow your gaze to follow that reach. Let's do 8. Nice, and 7, 6, and 5. Standing upright here, nice tall spine for 3 more. Stay strong and straight in that wrist for 2. And here is our last one. And then you slowly release. Okay, again, you can release the grip on the band and just allow the band to hang on to the back of your hand here. We're gonna open and close the door. So you're gonna reach that left arm forward. Left fingertips are aligned with the left shoulder. Tension on that band already. You're gonna exhale, open the door. Inhale, close door. Open and close. One more like that. Open and close. I lied, we have 5 more. Exhale and inhale for 4. And we're just moving from the shoulder here. Everything else is stable and still. We've got 3 more. Try to keep that arm up at shoulder height. Take a break if you need to. I know this can be intense too. Resisting out and resisting in. Last one. Make it your strongest. And then lower the arm down. Whew. Okay, now you're gonna trade the bottom side for the top side. And we're gonna get into our triceps now. So go ahead and wrap the band around your right hand. And again, taking that block or elevated surface if you need it to make this a little bit more comfortable in your side body. Bending through that elbow. Fingers are at about that top of head level. 90-degree bend in that elbow and tension in the band already. We're gonna take tricep extensions. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Let's do 10. And 9. 8. 7. Resisting in, resisting out. 6. And 5. Lifting out of that side body, so not sinking into your left rib cage for 4, 3, pulses in 2, and 1 more. You're gonna hold that bent position. Little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly release, coming up to stand. Whew. Okay, last little move here. You're now gonna place the band underneath your left knee, and then you're gonna step the right foot forward into your knight position and grab for the left side of the band. Go ahead and wrap it around the back of your hand, maybe one more, maybe 2 times for extra security so it doesn't snap out of your hand. Right hand on wrist, and you're gonna start with those with those arms straight in front of you, shoulder height. I'm getting all my joints mixed up. Okay, again, feel how that left oblique is already turned on to hold you in place here. You're gonna draw that elbow back into space, allowing your gaze to follow, keeping your hips squared forward. Inhale. Exhale, slowly reaching back forward. Gliding that arm across an imaginary tabletop. We have 8. Slow, controlled movement. Resisting in, resisting out. And 6. 5. And 4. And trying to come to full extension as you reach that arm forward. 3. And 2. Nice strong wrist here. Last one. Fully extend and then release. Woo. Okay, feeling it in the tops of our shoulders. We are gonna come and do another standing series and get into our legs a bit more. Okay, so with the band, I want you to again fold it in half and find that almost center, doesn't have to be precise, around your right foot. You're gonna grab both sides of the band with pretty heavy tension, since we're working through our legs here, pretty heavy tension, and you're gonna just grab onto the band. You can wrap it around your hand if you'd like for extra security. Grab onto it with your left hand and then just place your hands on your hips. You're gonna sit low into an imaginary chair. Your feet are about hips width distance apart here. I'm gonna choke up on the band a little bit for a little extra tension. All right, once you have that band ready, what we're gonna do here, I'm actually gonna come to the side so you can see this a little bit better. You're gonna sit your hips back into space and you're gonna extend your left leg back. You're gonna extend your right leg back. So most of that, all of that weight is in the left leg here. So we're gonna get, again, heavy into the left leg and left glute. And then you're gonna step it back in. So we just extend back and in. Working against the tension of that band, trying to keep the hips squared forward for 5 and 4 and 3. Exhale out, inhale in. 2 and 1 more. And then we're going to come out to the side now. Out and in. We extend out, inhale, tap in for 8 and 7, 6, moving slow here, for 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. And you guessed it, we're going forward. So you're gonna tap that foot out and in. We tap out and in for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. And go ahead, set both feet down, stand all the way up, maybe shake out your left leg. That's where you should be feeling it. That is where I'm feeling it. All right, we're gonna do the same thing, sort of, a little bit different. We're now going to, same side leg, but we're going to actually keep the right leg hovered the whole time. So first start into your squat, so sitting your hips back, feet are hips width distance apart. You're gonna shift your weight into that left leg again, and you're gonna pop through the right heel, and then you're gonna lift the whole foot off the mat. So all of your weight is in that left leg. You're gonna extend the right leg back into space. It's very low to the ground, so we're not trying to like lift the leg really high. We're just trying to hover that leg over the mat. And then from here, as you bring the right leg back in, I want you to start to stand up through that left leg, really driving down through your left foot, and then coming back into that hovering squat position, and repeat. Extend it back, driving through that left foot, stand it up. 3 more like this. So we're gonna do fewer reps here. So this is a little bit of a balance challenge, but I love how the band helps us with that. And then we get really deep into that left leg. And lift. 1 more here. Extend it back. And start to straighten as you lift up. Coming out to the side. Into our squat. Reaching out, standing up. So you're taking these circular motions with those legs. Let's do 3 more. Extend it out. Stand all the way up. 2. And 1 more. Nice, and then we're gonna go forward. We're gonna reach forward with that leg now, flexing through your foot. And stand. Here's 4. Whew. And 3. And 2. And find 1 more. Woo. And release that foot down, maybe shake out through your left leg, and then switch. We're gonna do the other side now. All right, so again, this time now finding the band looped around your left foot, and then you're going to loop that band around your right hand, and then place it hands on hips. I'm gonna come to the side again. So feet are gonna start hips width distance apart. You're gonna sit back into that chair, back into your seat, finding a nice long spine here, and then we're gonna pop the left heel. You're gonna extend the toes back, tapping the mat. So you're keeping the toes on the mat the whole time. We have 8. Keeping a deep bend in that right knee, loading up that right leg with the weight. Okay, we have 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Out to the side, tap, and in. Exhale out, inhale in for 8, and 7, 6, 5, gaze directly in front of you. Nice long spine through your neck. 3, 2, 1 more. Hold it here. We're going forward. We tap out and in. Out and in for 8. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. And stand all the way up. Shake out through your right leg. Okay, we have our next variation. Coming back into that seat. You're gonna pop the left heel, and then you're gonna shift all of your weight into that right leg, hovering the foot off the mat. You're gonna extend it back, flexing through your foot. Extend it back, finding length here, really pressing into that band. And then as you come up to stand, you're gonna straighten through that leg, keeping that foot to hover. And repeat. Down, extend it back, and lift up. So we're focused on finding length here, not height. 3 more. Control on the way up. Long spine, long gaze. 2. 1 more. And we lift up. We're coming out to the side now. Rebend in that knee. Extend out. Stand it on up. Inhale. And exhale, kick. And lift. 3 more. Woo. Feeling this in the right glute big time. 2. 1 more. And forward we go. Last little bit here. Flexing through that foot. Down, kick it out, and lift. 3 more like this. Moving really slow, like you're moving through honey. 2 more. And lift up. 1 more. And lift all the way up. Then release. Shake out your right leg. Release that band from your foot. Woo, all right. We're coming down onto our mats now, and we're just gonna get into some core work and some stretching, and then we're done. Alrighty, with that band, Fold it about in half. You're gonna wrap it around the soles of your feet. And I'm gonna scooch on forward a little bit and get the leaves off my mat. All right. So, band around your feet. You want there to be tension on that band. And then you're gonna grab either side of the band, and you can play around with this. You can start with a little bit more tension. For this move in our core, normally choking up on the band, the more tension we have, the more weight it is, and the harder or the more challenging the move is. In this case, it's actually gonna be more challenging the less weight you have on the band, because it's gonna be less support for your core, more reliance on your core. Okay, so go ahead and find band tension that works for you to start, and then you can adjust as you go. From here, we're gonna start in an upright seat. We're gonna reach our arms forward, and we want the arms to be nice and straight, so your band might be a little bit loosey-goosey, that's totally fine. And then from here, you're gonna start to roll yourself down, back into your C curve. You're gonna pause here. Pausing here, and then you're gonna roll yourself back up to that tall upright seat, reaching those arms forward. So the band is just here to help support us. If you want less support and more challenge in the core, you're gonna loosen up on the band. If you want more support from that band, you're gonna choke up on the band and allow it to provide that additional support. And so you can really feel this, what this should feel like, being in this shape. That's why I love the band so much. It provides support for us, but still allows us to feel it in all the right places. Trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears and the chest and collarbone nice and open. Roll down, and we roll up, finding a tall seat. Okay, we're gonna do 3 more like this, and then we're gonna add on a little bit. Down, and then we roll up. 2 more. Rolling back, hold for a second. Roll yourself up, chin in towards your chest as you roll yourself up. And then we roll down, and rolling ourselves up. All right, for this next one, we're gonna change it up a little bit. So we're gonna roll back, same move, but then we're going to open up through our arms, finding a little tension on that band. I'm going to release a bit of tension, arms out to the side like you're creating a low V, reach back forward, and lift yourself up. And repeat, we roll down. Open up the arms, bring them back into center, and roll up. 5 more like this. And then we move on again. And roll yourself up. Inhale as you lower down. Exhale as you open up the arms, and then roll back up. 3 more. Down, we open and close, and lift up. 2 more. Nice and slow here. Open and close. Roll up. 1 more here. Lower, we open, close, and roll ourselves up. And release for a second. Take a little breather. Take a moment here just to catch your breath and reset. Okay. Staying in this position, you're gonna grab onto that band, and this time we're gonna take twists. So working into the obliques, we're gonna twist and row the right elbow back. We're gonna allow our gaze to follow that elbow, and we're gonna twist from the core, keeping the hips, knees, and feet nice and parallel, and then reach back forward, twist left, and reach forward. And again, adjusting the tension of the band. If you want more support, choke up higher on the band. If you want less support and more core, you're gonna release, creating more slack in the band. And reach, center. Exhale, inhale. 5 more on each side. And 5. Here's 4. And 4. 3. Always returning through center. Moving really slow, really controlled. 2. The other arm is mostly straight as we row the elbow back. Last one on each side. Hold it here, and then roll yourself all the way to seated. All right, go ahead and remove the band from your feet. We are all done with the work. So we're gonna get into some stretching now. And we're gonna stretch through our shoulders first, as we did do a lot of shoulder work today. Same stretch that we did to start. We're gonna thread the needle here, so find your tabletop. Inhale, reach your right fingertips high. Hold for a second. And then exhale, thread that needle, reaching towards the left, dropping right ear to mat, reaching left fingertips forward. Finding that nice twist, really opening through left side body. This should feel really good. And then go ahead and return your left palm down, unwind the right arm, and release. Moving into the left side, reaching left arm high. Thread the needle. Drop the ear to the mat, and then reach the right fingertips forward, opening through the right side body. Breathing here. And then slowly return your palm down and then unwind. And release. And then we're gonna roll onto our backs and we're gonna stretch out through our glutes because we did quite a bit of glute work as well. So you're gonna come all the way down onto your back and we're gonna take supine figure 4, crossing right ankle over left thigh. Stay here. You can use your right palm to press that knee open. If this is enough for you, stay here. If you want more, lift the whole shape of your legs up and grab behind the left thigh using your right elbow to nudge right thigh open and deepen the stretch in your right glute. Breathing here. And then gently, as you inhale, find space. As you exhale, see if you can pull the shape of your legs closer and deepen or use your elbow to nudge that knee open even more. So really deepening the stretch here, using the inhale to find space. And the exhale to dig deeper into that incremental space. And release, switching sides. Left thigh, left foot over right thigh. And then go ahead, take your variation. And again, practice that deep breath in. And exhale to deepen. And that incremental space can be something that you just feel and no one else can see. It can be so small, but it can make all the difference in how it feels to you. One more breath. And then go ahead and release. Hug your knees into your chest. And since we have the band, although we didn't work a lot into our hamstrings, let's take a little hamstring stretch here. Since we have the aid of the band. So go ahead and fold the band in half. And it definitely doesn't have to be perfectly in half. You just need both sides of the band. You're gonna hook it around the sole of your right foot here. And then you're just going to, you can keep the left knee bent if you want, and then just pull the band in. Tugging on the band will deepen the stretch in your hamstrings. But if you want more, you can start to extend through the left leg as well, keeping both hips and shoulders grounded into the mat. Pulling on the band. Nice breathing here. And then you can place both hands, both sides of the band in your right hand and open up for an inner thigh stretch, opening up to the right. Breathing and just allowing the band to catch your leg. And then start to bring your leg over to the left. And you don't need to go very far over to feel this in that IT band along the outer edge of your right leg. I can feel this big time and I'm only like a few inches left of center. Keeping both hips down here. And then come back to center and let's switch out our legs. So replace right foot with left foot. And again, you can keep right knee bent or extend it long. Just finding center, little hamstring stretch here. Be gentle. And I'm gonna open the leg out towards the left side here, both bands in your hand. You can use your right hand to make sure that that right hip is still flat on the mat. Inner thigh stretch. Come back to center and then allow that leg to tip slightly over to the right. IT band stretch. This one is so intense for me. One more breath. And slowly release. Release that band from your foot. Drop it off to the side and then roll yourself up to a seat. And you guys are all done with class. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to hearing back from you guys on how it felt for you all. And if you'd like to stay tuned for more classes and you're not subscribed already, the best way to stay tuned is to subscribe to my channel. And otherwise, thank you so much.